In the headlines, Ekiti State Governor Fayemi votes, says electoral process peaceful. NSCDC parades vigilante officer for alleged rape in Nasarawa State. Saudi government mandates monkeypox screening for intending pilgrims. And on the foreign scene, Ecuadorian president declares state of emergency after 5 days of anti-government protests. Hello and welcome to Trust TV News Update. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Hello and welcome once again. The Ekiti State Governor, Kayode Fayemi, has described the ongoing governorship election as peaceful so far. He also expressed optimism that his party, the All Progressive Congress, will emerge victorious at the end of the exercise. The governor stated this when he cast his vote at polling unit 009 in front of Apata's house, or a local government area of the state. The governorship candidate of the All Progressive Congress, APC, in Ekiti State, Abiodun Abayomi Oyebanji, after casting his vote at polling unit 3 of Ward 6 in Ikogosi local government area of the state, expressed satisfaction with the conduct of the election in the state. Oyebanji, who expressed confidence that he will emerge victorious at the end of the exercise, counseled the electorates to vote a candidate that will secure their future with the right policies.
Early days. I mean, I came in to vote early, and I don't want to pass a complete and final judgment on my assessment so far. But going by my own personal experience at the polling unit, at my polling unit in Ogilolo, Ishon Ekiti, it's a pretty smooth exercise. People are calm. They are all queued up to vote. The officers were dutiful, and the beavers worked in my verification and accreditation exercise. So if everything goes this way, INEC would have been given a pass mark at the end of the day. But as I said, it is very early days. We cannot pass a judgment yet on what INEC has done. Well, my PVC was still recognized, and this is the PVC I've been using since the very beginning of this process. One thing that has changed here is that and I think this will save us time. You know, we used to come first to do accreditation between 8 and 12 noon for everybody to do their accreditation, and then you go back and come back to vote. That process is now seamless. Accreditation is done simultaneously with voting, and I think that will save us time. It will probably increase turnout as well, because the period spent by each voter has reduced if beavers worked.
It's victory. We have worked so hard, and we believe that we should be victorious. All things being equal. They should see the link between voting rightly and their future. Because you vote today and elect a government that will take decisions concerning your future. So we should take it seriously. But be that as it may, it's always important for INEC to embark on voter sensitization. I'm not sure they're doing enough in that respect. They should spend more time on sensitization. The way they prepare for election, they should take sensitization like that. I'm not sure they are doing enough when it comes to sensitization. The political parties, they are trying their best, but INEC has a duty also to sensitize the people.
Meanwhile, the Kwara State chapter of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has unveiled a former House of Representatives member, Benga Makonjola, as his deputy governorship candidate in the 2023 governorship election. The governorship candidate of the party, Shoaib Abdullah, while unveiling his running mate, assured of the readiness of the party to clinch power in next year's election. The report.
The state chairman of the People's Democratic Party, Babatunde Mohammed, thanks members for accepting the consensus agreement that produced most of the candidates for all offices.
We thank Almighty God that even those people that lost at the primary level are now working with those candidates that emerged. So we thank God that in Kwara State, PDP is a single big family in Kwara State. We don't have any crisis. There is not a factional problem in Kwara State. We don't have any court issues. after the primary elections.
The governorship candidate Shuaibu Abdullahi, before unveiling the deputy governorship candidate, said the party will address the hardship and economic woes the APC-controlled government at the state and federal level brought upon Nigerians.
104 billion naira is standing to the debit of Kwara State government. Today, this present administration, in just 3 years, has increased the debt portfolio of the state by over 100% in just 3 years, and nothing to show for it.
The man of the moment, Bengama Konjola, who was a member of the House of Representatives, assured of his readiness to work for the victory of the parties at the polls.
To all fellow party faithfuls, I want to especially thank those who have shown interest in this particular position. This is the will of God. It's not by power, it's not by might. But I believe what is happening today is by the mercy of Almighty.
The event also featured the presentation of certificates of return to the party's House of Assembly, House of Representatives and senatorial candidates.
The Senate President, Ahmed Lawan, has described as false and mischievous a video on social media purportedly announcing his defection from the ruling party to the opposition People's Democratic Party, PDP. Lawan, in a statement by his SA media, Ola Awuni, said the original video clip, which was mischievously edited to 26 seconds, is a 3-minute, 30-second clip of the Senate President reading the letter Senator Muhammad Adamu Aliru of Kebbi State informing his Senate colleagues at plenary of his defection from the APC to the PDP over issues in the state chapter of the APC. According to Awani, the letter was one of the correspondences the Senate President read at commencement of the resumed session on Tuesday, noting that it was the video clip of the Senate President reading out Senator Aliru's letter that was doctored to give the wrong impression that the Senate President has renounced his membership of the APC. He maintained that Senator Ahmed Lawan remained a committed member of the APC who has no reason to renounce his membership of the party, and enjoined members of the public to discount the video in reference as it is the handiwork of mischief makers. The Nasarawa State Command of the Nigeria Security and Civil Defense Corps has arrested a vigilante officer over alleged defilement of a 13-year-old girl in the state. Public Relations Officer of the command, Jerry Victor, made this known while parading the suspect in Lafia. The report.
Parading the suspected vigilante officer, Yusuf Dalla, the Public Relations Officer of the Nasarawa State Command of NSCDC, Jerry Victor, said the victim was brought to the vigilante office over alleged theft and rape.
The victim happened to stole some property that belongs to someone, and she was arrested. After then, she was taken to the vigilante office opposite PDP Secretariat here in Lafia. Upon interrogation, she has confessed, of course, to the crime. She was still at the custody of the VGN where it was getting dark. So at the process of that, she needs to be kept somewhere for safekeeping so that the interrogation or investigation will continue the next day. It was unfortunate that one of the officers in the office there took her to his house, and at the process, of course, he defiled her.
He said the victim reported the matter to her elder brother, who later informed the NSCDC, which swung into action and arrested the suspect. The PRO, who affirmed that the suspect would be charged to court after investigation, called on parents to always monitor the movement of their children to prevent them from falling victims of such acts.
There are different kinds of people on the street, and they would like to take advantage of these young girls that are coming up. So my advice to parents and guardians is to make sure they supervise or they monitor the movement of their children, especially the female ones. So because they need more care, sometimes more than their male counterpart.
The suspect, Yusuf Dalla, who denied committing the alleged offense, said investigations will set him free, while the victim, Kulthum Musa, insisted she was raped by the suspect.
I didn't commit the alleged offense. She was brought to our office over alleged theft, and the next day I just heard that I raped her. I don't argue with authorities, but I know I will be free after investigation.
Yes, he's the one that raped me. Even at the time my other brother came, he placed shocking device on me, threatening me not to tell my brother. And after that, I went and informed my stepmother.
It is expected that, at the close of the investigation, the truth will be revealed.
The 2022 Hajj pilgrims from Kaduna State have been warned against unnecessary travels or mingling with people in hospitals in order to guard against contracting monkeypox disease. The chairman of the Kaduna State Hajj medical team, Dr. Abdul Rashid Ibrahim, said the Saudi embassy has mandated all pilgrims from Nigeria to be screened for the disease. Lami Sadiq reports.
According to the chairman of the Kaduna State Hajj medical team, Dr. Abdul Rashid Ibrahim, pilgrims with specific symptoms will be directed to the public health department, and those confirmed positive will be isolated.
If pilgrims have specific symptoms of monkeypox, we have to invite the public health department of Kaduna State Ministry of Health. If at the end of the day he is confirmed positive, so he may not be allowed to go for Hajj, or he may be kept or isolated.
The head of ICT of the state's Pilgrims Welfare Agency, Abubakar Usman, says about 2,000 visas for the state's 2,491 intending pilgrims have been issued.
Close to 2,000 visas at hand, and you know we are a state of 2,400 and something pilgrims. So having close to 2,000, I think we have gone really very far.
He assured that adequate security has been beefed around the Kaduna International Airport. He then advised intending pilgrims to abide by the rules and urged them to be good ambassadors while in the Holy Land. Lami Sadiq for Trust TV News, Kaduna.
Meanwhile, Zamfara State Governor Bello Muhammad has charged this year's intending pilgrims from the state to pray for the restoration of peace in all parts of the state and Nigeria. The governor gave the charge while bidding farewell to 1,303 intending pilgrims from the state who will perform this year's Hajj in the Holy Land. The governor, in a statement by his press secretary, Jamilu Ilyasu, said the government has provided all necessary assistance in terms of logistics and support to the intending pilgrims for them to perform Hajj exercise with relative ease. The state's First Lady, Aisha Bello, while congratulating the intending pilgrims for the opportunity, enjoined them, especially the women, to be of good conduct throughout the exercise. Earlier, the leader of the state government delegation to this year's Hajj and Speaker of the Zamfara State House of Assembly, Nasiru Mu'azu, said his committee has concluded all necessary arrangements for the airlift of the state's intending pilgrims to Saudi Arabia. The ongoing strike action by Academic Staff Union of Universities has been described as unnecessary, as it could lead to irreparable damage. The Registrar, Joint Admissions and Matriculation Board, JAM, Professor Isaac Oloyede, said this at a function in Ilorin. The JAM Registrar, who said incessant strikes by unions in the nation's tertiary institutions was capable of causing irreparable damage, not just to the students, but also the nation, urged both the government and the unions to find ways of putting an end to the strike action.
While acknowledging the fact that the primary responsibility of reasonable funding, even if it is not adequate, of public and educational institutions lies on the proprietors, the government who established the institution and literally abdicated their responsibility. May I seize this opportunity to call on university-based labor unions to appreciate the irreparable damage of incessant strike on not just the students but also on our nation, and therefore stop this unnecessary strike.
You're watching Trust TV News Update. And still to come on the news, traders lament alleged IPOB attacks on members. Details of this and more after the break. Do stay with us.
Times have passed, and with it so many things that once were our visual delights. Technological advancement has brought about tremendous changes in the way and manner media deliver content to its audience.
As it continues to reposition itself to serve you much better, Media Trust Limited is rebranding its logo and visual identity to reflect our current vision and futuristic drive.
We have spread our tentacles beyond the pages of the newspaper to the digital space. The new logos and visual identities reflect the new scope of our multimedia reach.
Even with this development, however, we will continue to remain with you as we have always remained, committed to our founding philosophy, which is based on trust, integrity, openness, and courage.
The new logo, which is a marriage of a revolving globe and a mobile device, signifies the unlimited reach of our content on the digital space.
We are always the backbone of operations as we do our best to deliver content that suits your needs.
When you see a new trust title or platform in the next few days, therefore, do not be alarmed.
We remain committed to you and will continue to serve you through fair and responsible journalism.
Welcome back, and thanks for staying with us on Trust TV News Update. Now another look at our top stories. Ekiti State Governor Fayemi votes, says electoral process peaceful. And NSCDC parades vigilante officer for alleged rape in Nasarawa State. Now moving on to health matters. Desertification is a global phenomenon with serious implications on biodiversity, eco-safety. The degradation of farmlands brought about by desert encroachment can have a devastating impact on people, livestock and environment. In Katsina State, northwest Nigeria, manifestations of desertification, especially among local governments bordering Niger Republic, are so glaring. Abdullahi Yamadi tells us more.
As the world observes the day to combat desertification and drought, the focus is on transforming degraded lands into healthy lands to increase economic resilience. However, the celebration in Katsina State was marred by non-participation of state actors. Dry winds, harsh weather conditions, occasional drought, and decline in agricultural output are some of the factors that continue to threaten the existence of people and livestock. It is especially obvious in desertification-prone states like Katsina, and experts argue that the only remedy is massive and sustainable tree planting exercise. However, in spite of the dangers associated with desertification and the position of Katsina as one of the frontline states, only one non-government actor observed the day in Katsina State.
The vision of the association is to cover the nation at large on awareness. The nation should be aware on that there is a lot of climate change challenges in Nigeria, and those climate challenges need to be addressed in order to save the world from that climate change that is facing the world.
Beyond that, the choice of Kaito local government for the annual exercise is a wise decision, considering the huge losses suffered in the area because of desert encroachment.
They light us, and also they planted many trees in order to protect our environment from the getting of desertification and the drought.
This local association that has been championing this one rose task is hopeful that one day all the actors and other stakeholders will see the wisdom behind the massive tree planting and need for the active participation of all.
Let everybody contribute, even one plant. Plant a single plant in your locality or in your house or in your farm, whatever that you know you can maintain. Plant it, maintain it, you contribute to the development of the environment globally.
Besides, there is also the need for awareness against deforestation to be supported by some legislations that will increase the resilience of the people to ensure sustained tree planting exercise. Abdullahi Ismayamadi, Trust Television News, Kazana.
And activities of the outlawed indigenous people of Biafra, IPOB, are posing a danger and threat to cattle traders in Nigeria. The cattle traders from Taraba State who traveled south revealed that many of their kinsmen were killed and property worth millions of naira destroyed. In this exclusive interview with traders at the Telle International Market in Taraba, it was reported that cattle traders are on the verge of losing their means of livelihood if the government fails to address the menace. The report.
In February 2022, it was reported that gunmen suspected to be members of the IPOB attacked a cattle market in southeast Nigeria, killing 8 traders and 51 cows. The intra-regional trade by northern and southern traders has been affected by the activities of the separatist group. Tella International Cattle Market in Gasol, Taraba State attracts buyers from all over Nigeria and neighboring Cameroon who come to the market to make purchases at affordable prices. The chairman of the market, Aboki Musa, told Trust TV that more than 3,000 cattle are sold to cattle markets from different parts of the country, including Southeast.
I am the second tailor of this market in the town of Taylor. The market only runs on Sunday every market day. We have about 5,000 cattle. The problem faced in this market is insecurity. Government should provide adequate security apparatus. These markets equally generate revenue and it is sent to the government's treasury. It is important that the government provide the needed infrastructure from the revenue generated.
Taylor is the leading cattle market in Taraba State, where cattle from neighboring Cameroon Republic are brought for sale. Adamu Buba, a merchant in the market, pointed out that the activities of the IPOB have crippled the trade and pose serious danger to their lives and property.
I am a trader. I buy and sell cattle. I buy up to 200 cows. I sell here in Taraba and travel to sell in the east. The price of cattle is not fixed. It can be high and low depending on the period. The price range between 500 to 600,000 naira. There is high level of insecurity in Anambra and Enugu for cattle traders. And the slow response by the government in addressing the security threat is affecting our business. Our cattle are killed and vehicles burnt down. And no measures have been put in place to address the threat of our lives and property.
However, experts say the livestock industry in Nigeria could be worth at least 30 billion naira to 50 billion over the next decade if the right structures are put in place.
And in business news, as of March 2022, the cost for filling up a 12.5 kg cylinder was 8,500 naira. Today, the same size will cost you 10,000 naira, with some areas selling it at 12,000 naira. As the price of gas in Nigeria continues to rise, it pushes back the federal government's dream of reaching 20 million homes through the National Gas Expansion Program. By implication, it will be difficult to attain the target of increasing the country's liquefied petroleum gas penetration, which most recent figures estimate currently at 13%. Chamun Dabeng reports.
The cost of liquefied petroleum gas (LPG) has been steadily on the rise, pushing more and more Nigerians to turn to unhealthier options like charcoal and kerosene in order to save money. On the surface, it would seem that the sellers of these products may have struck gold. However, the case is quite the opposite.
Well, the way this market is, I can't compare it to before because this place, the market is not organized. So now the market is somehow. Before you sell up to like 6-10 bag, but now To even say one bag is somehow.
My gain from selling 25 liters of kerosene is just 1,250 naira to 1,300 naira because of how difficult it is getting it. Not everyone can afford to sell it in our area. Sometimes I don't sell the 25 liters I buy. Before it gets sold, it will take 2 to 3 days or even a week. And because I have started selling, I just feel it's okay to continue selling so that it will be like an additional income to my business.
One can only imagine the difficulties faced by the gas trader as he struggles to keep his customers and also keep his business afloat.
People are coming, but they are no more longer buying like the way they buy before. Some people do not used to fill up their 12.5 kg. Some used to put half, some don't, some fill it up, some put half.
There are many reasons as to why the cost of gas continues to increase.
Today, what we are seeing in terms of prices, and this is lamentable, is that not only are we still facing those constraints of storage, of bottlenecks in imports, of limited production because NLNG, again, has issues around gas supply. We input the stock that they use to produce propane, butane, and LNG. Not only do we have that, but we also now have to contend with an increasing cost of transportation.
Hard times for Nigerians as it seems as though even the alternatives to LPG are also too expensive. Chamun Dabeng, Trust TV News, Abuja.
And now a quick look at the foreign scene where Ecuador's President Guillermo Lasso has declared a state of emergency in 3 provinces on Friday in response to violent protests by indigenous people demanding cuts in fuel prices. To ease grassroots anger, Lasso also announced in his address late Friday a small increase in a monthly subsidy paid to Ecuador's poorest, as well as a program to ease the debt of those who have loans from state-run banks. And that wraps up Trust TV News Update for this hour. For more news, you can subscribe and follow us across all our social media platforms. I am Ibrahim Yusuf. Thanks for watching.